Good morning, everyone. Thank you for joining us. My name is Kaylee Hashaw with TJK Consulting Engineers. I am the current Allied Director with AIA. And of course, want to begin by thanking you all for joining Coffee with an Architect today. Just some quick housekeeping items. Please make sure you are muted. You're more than welcome to keep your camera on. Love to see your faces, but just make sure to click that mute button. We do love Q&A, so you can, feel free to ask questions in the chat box. I'll try to monitor that as we go along. But then, of course, at the end, you can unmute and just ask the question yourself if you feel like. Eddie Cervantes with Clyde Jubelwald Architecture is our guest architect this morning. Eddie has been in the world of architecture for 28 years now and is still enthused and inspired as he makes his way into the office each day. He understands that collaboration and effective communication are key to project success, and Eddie leads the charge with that mindset and mentality. Over the years, he has accumulated a well-rounded body of work spanning in healthcare, educational, and commercial environments. But since 2002, hospitality has become the focus of his professional practice. He is currently a senior associate at Clyde Jubelwald Architecture and Interiors and manages multiple projects, teams, and clients from concept design through construction. From projects, teams, and clients, reading the same sentence. From intimate venues to large scales integrated resorts, Eddie strives to maintain a balance between the design sense, aesthetics, technical performance, and operational efficiencies that these projects demand. As a mentor to many in the firm, Eddie plays a key role in the professional development of the up-and-coming new generation of design professionals. He understands that investing the time and effort is necessary not only to cultivate quality teams, but it also provides him with the personal professional fulfillment he needs to sleep contently for at least a few hours each night. Hello, Eddie. How are you?
Good morning, Kaylee. Thank you for having me.
Yeah.
Nice job, by the way. That was
it's a good bio. It's long, but
intro there,
yeah, but I love it. I am concerned with only a few hours of sleep every night, though. So
yeah, you and me both. But that's my reality, unfortunately. Yeah. It's okay. I'll sleep when I die,
Yeah, okay. Love it.
Not to start off on a bad note.
So you've been in the industry almost 30 years. Do you mind sharing with us where your journey to architecture began?
Wow. Well, let's see. I'm guessing somewhere between birth and 6 years of age is when it began. I can't put my finger on it, but I do know that I have proof of this. Probably about 10 years ago, I remember visiting my parents for the holidays, and my mom was going through the garage and unboxing some stuff. My dad was showing me some old toys from when I was a kid, and my mom pulled out this essay that I guess I had written in first grade, and it was, I guess, in response to the question, what do you want to be when you grow up? And in the essay, I responded. I said, I want to be married with 3 kids. I want to be an architect, and I want to live in a 2-story house. And somehow I must have subconsciously manifested all of this because that's where I am today. Married, 3 kids in a 2-story house, and an architect. And I'm not sure exactly why the 2 stories came in, but I'm guessing it had something to do with all those comedy sitcoms I used to watch as a kid. I had 2-story houses for some reason. So I never grew up in one, so that was always something I guess I put on the wish list. Outside of that, I expect, a lot of the architectural red flags, so to speak, were there. The traditional Lego Lincoln logs, building forts and tunnels in my backyard with my construction Tonka trucks. I built forts and I remember I had little green army men, and I would put all these little green army men all over my creations, for scale. And then I would take out my BB gun and I would shoot them all, and I would put firecrackers, and I would explode everything. So I was still a boy, a bit rough around the edges, a little destructive, but I had no idea that I was forecasting Vegas implosions back in the early 70s. But nonetheless, that was my realization. And And of course, you know, thinking back in school, elementary school and whatnot, I mean, I've always had a love for math and science. And then in high school, I really enjoyed physics and just, you know, understanding how the world worked, you know. I really had an appreciation for that. So that's something that I kind of continued. So I guess, I don't know, my fate was set long ago, even before I can remember. And I just followed my path to realization. And that's where I stand today. So
Yeah. Thank
hopefully
you for
that gives
sharing.
you a
That's
little snapshot.
no, that's great. No, it's amazing. I love hearing when people can manifest that at such a young age and it goes exactly as planned. Cause
Yeah,
sometimes winding up in the AEC industry, it kind of, you just wind up here, right? It's very random for a lot of us. So I love that you've been thinking about it since you were a little kid.
definitely
So
planned.
there was a piece in your bio I did leave out, but your bio also said that you were filled with genuine sense of purpose to make a difference, which I thought was so great. What motivates you to strive towards making a positive difference in the lives of everyone you encounter and engage with on your projects?
Okay, so I guess the deep introspective therapy session starts now. That's good. All right.
I pulled it out of your bio, so you did.
No, that's fine. That's fine. Let's see. Let me think about this for a second. But you know, honestly, what motivates me, I'm going to have to say, it's gonna sound a little corny, but I'm speaking from the heart here. I'm a genuine person. I feel very fortunate and blessed to wake up every day and do something that I love. You know, be compensated for, you know, a passion of mine, and I don't take that for granted. And you know, as a matter of fact, as a part of my kind of daily routine in the mornings, you know, sometime between the first 20 minutes of when I wake up, I do kind of go through and count my blessings, you know, just to try and start the day off with a positive mindset. You know, I'm definitely a glass half full kind of guy. So I may be brushing my teeth or whatever, and I'm thinking, you know, hey, you know, here I'm thankful for, you know, my health. Oh, I see the look of surprise on everyone's face there. You know, it should health be on this guy's list? But no, the camera does that 80 pounds, by the way, so just letting everybody know. My six pack, unfortunately, is out of frame, so maybe next time. But honestly, you know, I'm 5% body fat from the waist down, so I just got upstairs to work on, and then we'll be in good shape. But to take it back to some seriousness here, health is something that I do value, and the other thing too is the support structure that I have. You know, I have a wife of actually 25 years as of yesterday. We've been together. I met her in college at Cal Poly San Luis Obispo, and I know there's a few other alumni on this call that are from there too. And we had she's a rock. You know, she understands, you know, what it takes in this business, the effort. You know, some people say blood, sweat, and tears. Luckily, I've never been injured, but all those you know, all that support that you need to get through tough times, you know. And trust me, the curriculum at Cal Poly was definitely a challenge. And then of course, embarking on your profession after college and going through and working, you know, multiple all-nighters trying to prove your value and worth and learn the profession and do all that, diving in deep. She understood all that, so it was fantastic to have that understanding at home. And so she is definitely, you know, beautiful inside and out, and appreciate her very much. So I will celebrate this weekend our 25 years, and it'll be great. But outside of that, my kids, you know, we got 3 kids. I got a 16-year-old boy. My daughter is 20. Actually, no, he just turned 21, March 12th. And then my oldest son, he's 22, about to be 23 in July. And I think we did a good job with them. You know, I mean, the oldest two are still at UNLV. My youngest is still in high school, but you know, they still have a similar, like myself, a love of life. You know, a love of laughter. They're kind and generous. They have big hearts, just like their mother. You know, they all love animals, and I mean, trust me, every time I go on a longer business trip, I come back and there's a new animal in the house. You know, it's like an unqualified veterinarian center, because There's like pigeons with broken, rabbits with a broken foot. I mean, I'm like, you guys even qualify to like nurse these animals back then? But that's their nature. That's the way. That's their spirit. They're just very loving and giving people, and I love them for that. And I feel very fortunate to have that. Again, outside of my immediate family, let's see, my parents, they're still around. My dad, they're in their late 70s, but they're still married, by the way. 54 years this year. And so again, they set a great example. I mean, we're still on the phone with them, at least once a week. And my brothers, the two younger brothers, one's in the restaurant industry and the other's a detective for the LA County Sheriff. So divergent paths, but again, we still are on the phone regularly and catching up. And that strong family network, I think, has made a difference in my life growing up, knowing that I had that support. And of course, I have a big extended family, which, are always there, always ready to celebrate whatever milestones we achieve in life. So I will say that, having that support is definitely one of the blessings. And so just recapping, I would say after I count my blessings, I'm very grateful. And as a part of that gratitude, I kind of want to pay it forward. So, I think going to work, engaging with, people that I'm mentoring or consultants or clients or contractors, vendors, all professionals in our field who I encounter, as you say, on a daily basis. My goal is to make them smile, chuckle, learn something. For me, the fulfillment I get is not just about making their day better, but it's also like, say, for example, I'm mentoring somebody and I'm explaining some technical issue or design problem solution, and I see the enlightenment occur. That light comes on, that switch is flipped, and the people understanding that after the dots are connected, they get it. And so paying that knowledge, forward, making sure that the next generation is understanding of the challenges and how they can be met, is important to me, and I do get a lot from it, and fulfillment-wise, professionally. So I always like to keep and maintain that approach. So anyhow, I think those are the things I'm thankful for, and that's what motivates me, likely on a daily basis. So
that's great. Yeah, you do play a pivotal role in young architects' careers when you speak about that mentoring piece with the design professionals. Yeah. How would you describe your personal style of mentoring?
Well, let's see. As you see, I take my profession very seriously, but I take myself not so seriously. I'm no egomaniac. Listen, we're all striving for the pursuit of happiness, I guess, so to speak. And happiness means different things to different people. Some measure it with the money in their bank accounts or professional achievements, awards or accolades or things like that. And like I said, I measure mine with making a difference, a positive difference with those that I encounter. So my mentorship style is very positive. I'm not, it takes patience, I will say. It all depends on the level of, I guess, of experience that, whoever I'm dealing with and whoever I'm mentoring has. But people straight out of school, or I approach quite differently than those that have been doing it for 10, 15 years, where there's much less hand-holding. But in either case, I think I still have a lot to share. And so the approach I have is kind of similar to the university style that we had. Our, Cal Poly always had a learn by doing motto. And so I if things are busy and somebody has a question and need to know something, I can provide the answer and we keep going. However, I revisit that and I make sure that they understand that after the deadline's met, or whatever the case may be, and they say, this is why the answer is this. Here's the context of that decision. These are the dominoes that are impacted by this, and thus this was the best solution for this particular situation. And I make sure that they're understanding. So the next time we come across a similar challenge, people give me it grabs me all the time because I have a bit of technical library at my desk where, I have books from college that I still use as references. And somebody will quickly grab a book, whip it to the chapter and page, and I'll quickly walk them through the whys, the hows, and make sure they understand, so that the next time, and I'll show them how to do it, whether it's a calculation or whatever the case is, but I'll show them how to do it. So the next time when we encounter that, they're able to do it themselves, and then I just simply check the work. And then the next time after that, they're pretty proficient, and, I've done my job. So I guess hands-on approach, obviously investing the time and energy and patience required to make sure that those that I am mentoring understand that the decisions have consequences, and even graphically speaking, I don't think times are different. When we were at the school, there was a lot of hand drawing. The computers were just coming out, but they were so slow; they were nowhere near what we have today. So I know that the people coming out of school today are just living a different world. So in either case, when you use tools, Revit, AutoCAD still are in practice today, and the product of that, the deliverable, is still, a drawing on 2D paper that, builders usually, are the basis for executing that design. And so with that understanding, lines matter, and the hierarchy, how things read, on a sheet, foreground, background, all those traditional artistic skill sets still play a role. As architects, we have to communicate not just verbally to sell our ideas, or in written form, with narratives or specs, or however technical you want to get, but graphically as well. And so I think having those skill sets is important. So I want to make sure that those that I work with understand that just because it looks great in the computer model may not necessarily translate into the finished printed form. So we always got to make sure that we follow through, and then I's are dotted, T's are crossed, everyone's happy. So I don't know, does that answer your question?
Yeah, of course. No, it sounds like you're very thorough, and I'm sure they are very appreciative of that, to have you walk them through step by step is fantastic. Do you have a specific piece of advice that you give the young professionals to help them sort of plan a career long term, or to try and find purpose for themselves in what they're doing?
Well, let's see. I would say, well, I encounter so many different types of up and coming, professionals out here, students and stuff. But I guess I would say the first thing is to have a plan. My nature, again, I'm an inherent planner. I've been fortunate that way. So I break everything down. I think I'm fortunate to work on these large scale projects, and people can get easily overwhelmed with that. But there's a methodology in how you approach, break everything down into bite-sized pieces, and consume it in an orderly fashion. And so I guess the first thing would be to have a plan. If they have a trajectory that they want to pursue in their profession, I would say, talk to the people that are already there, understand their histories and what it took to, what was their trajectory. There are many ways to get there to your destination. I think, the straight line is the most efficient, but obviously for those that, your line may be a large squiggle that meanders all over the place, but the benefit of that is you learn from every wrong turn, and by the time you get to your destination, you have more life experience to apply. So I think, there's no one way, to get there, but I guess my advice would be don't hesitate. You can plan a little bit too much and be a little too timid and anxiety ridden to take that first step, but you just got to take it. So move forward, and you'll learn as you go. Hopefully you're surrounded by people that can help guide and help you navigate that pathway, give you warning signs and hazards and all that kind of stuff, and you'll get there eventually, but in one piece.
Yeah.
But that would be my advice: is don't be afraid to take that first step, but try and do your best to make a plan as best as possible. So
Yeah.
I don't know. That's what I would say.
Yeah, that's great. What are some of the important issues or challenges you're facing currently that your consultants, which are made up a lot of everyone that's on the call, the allied members, should be aware of or could even help you with?
Well, I will say I appreciate my consultants and my allied members and vendors and everybody very much. Again, I see architecture as a team effort. I mean, I oftentimes draw a correlation, it's like an orchestra, where, we may be writing music, initially the original score or whatever, but without the orchestra, without each of the musicians to take their piece, play their role, make it their own, embellish it, it wouldn't happen. And of course, it's our job to kind of, keep everybody in sync, everybody on the same musical page. And if we get to do that, I think it's going to sound beautiful. We'll get a rising standing ovation at the end. So, but it takes that orchestra, it takes that team. And so I'm very appreciative of my educational upbringing where at Cal Poly, we did, again, it all starts, I give credit to all these institutions that helped me be the person I am and how I do things. So that's learned by doing things. Cal Poly is a polytechnic school, so it's a very cross-disciplinary, we had 3 years of engineering roughly where we were in the classes with the other engineers. So I remember third year, by the time we were in third year, we were doing our design projects, and I can't speak to all studios, but just my experience here, but we were already doing overlays where we would not just design the buildings, but passive solar calculations. We would do structural, and this is before computers. I mean, I don't have all the we never had the software to do, so we were doing everything by hand, calcing the beams and columns and the foundation designs, and we would do overlays, electrical systems, plumbing, mechanical, even acoustical analysis, all that kind of stuff was done, from our Mead Bible, and we would, generate these. And so I think having that experience allowed me to kind of speak the language a bit, to each of the consultants. I'm no way claim to be an engineer of any sort, but being married to one, no, I can speak the language a little bit better than maybe most. But understanding, each of the team members' needs is key. I mean, I know we all like to push the boundaries of architecture a bit. We like to challenge materials. But again, physics still has to play a role here. So we can be ingenuous and do some amazing things, but in the end, we still have loads that we need to accommodate, gravity, oil, you name it. So I work closely with all of my engineering or my design team partners to kind of make sure that the designs that we generate, the solutions that we provide, the experiences, the end experiences to the patrons that, utilize these spaces. And again, keep in mind, my focus has been hospitality, so we're trying to evoke emotion, create ambiance, possibly an escape, to whatever, visitors coming into the property. And so with that mindset, everyone needs to understand that. Everybody needs to play their role to we can achieve those end results that each project has. And so I am very appreciative of the consultants that are willing to work with design challenges and not just be, this is the way I've done it for 30 years, and there's no other way to do it, and not being open-minded about that. We love. I always love challenges, right? So I love consultants that are like-minded, and we work together, and we do stuff that maybe hasn't been done before, but in the end, it works, and it's fantastic. So with the vendors and the technical reps, same thing. I respect their expertise in their fields, and appreciate the fact that they're still engaging with us as architects, coming into our offices, knocking on our doors, sending us emails, calling us, trying to keep us updated on all the latest and greatest developments, whether it's product offerings, systems offerings, or even forecasting code changes or issues with material availability or skilled labor or whatever the case is. They keep us informed, and keeping us informed helps us inform our clients, helps us inform our designs, so that when we put some pen to paper or finger to keyboard, we're promoting a realistic, informed solution, and not something that, oh, sorry guys, now we're here at the end, but we got to redo everything because all the masons are busy in town, whatever the case is. But so all of the input from all the team members and all the allied members is very much appreciated by myself, and I'm sure my architectural colleagues. So thank you for continuing to stay on top of your game and helping us stay on top of ours.
Yeah, thank you for that. I do want to be mindful for time, so we're gonna switch gears into something I started in January with this year with Coffee of the Architect. I thought it'd be fun to just kind of ask a couple rapid fire questions. So it's kind of whatever comes to mind, meant to be short and sweet.
All right.
Just 3 coming at you. So fill in the blanks. Architecture, architecture is.
Oh, that's the blank. Okay. My pleasure. No, that's going to be misconstrued. Let me say bliss. Yeah.
Great. You are presented the project of a lifetime. It's your dream design. What is it?
All right. Well, this is in the fantasy world, so
Yep.
I have a little context here. 2 of my passions, again, outside of architecture, I've always been a racket sport guy. So I've been racquetball for many years, and then I lived in Australia for a year on a project, and after that it was squash. So I've been playing squash since 2014, probably 3 or 4 times a week, and so that's been a love of mine. You got to get the stress out, right? And then drumming. I've been a drummer from a teenager. I used to competitively travel the country and drum in bugle corps and all that stuff. So I have a real appreciation for that. So I guess if I had a dream project, I'd combine them and do a squash center with musical venues inside. Just to, if this is my passion, then
Yeah.
this is my dream project, I guess. Yeah, and it's outside of the norm, right? I do all hospitality now, so
Yeah.
it's a bit of a departure, but yeah.
I love it. So get to listen to music while you play some racquetball. Yeah, it's great. Name one thing. I know we already talked about gratitude, but name one thing you are grateful for in the AEC industry.
Wow. Well, I guess kind of what I just described. Honestly, the relationships that I've built over the years with a lot of the people on this call, it's been great. Yeah, let's see. I'm definitely grateful for all that. Outside of it, I don't know. Feeding me? No, just kidding. I don't know what it is. This brings me to that. Okay, so, our firm is architecture and interiors, right? So the interiors group, man, I don't know what it is, but their vendors are like casino hosts. It seems like all their nets, they have daycare provided. There's spa days. The ice cream trucks are coming, breakfast burritos. I'm like, what is it? What?
So if anyone's looking, anyone wants to switch careers, go into interiors, it sounds like. Yeah.
I'm sure they're grateful, for all of that, as I am grateful for the knowledge that's shared. But yeah, it's a wonderful thing. I think the relationships that we all have, we work together often. The circles are small. We see each other over and over again. So I am grateful for those relationships and the fact that they're able to be continued. So I guess that's way more than one word. So I'm sorry.
Yeah. We may go over time, but I'm gonna go with Lori's question just real quick if everyone wants to hang on. She says, hello, thanks for your time this morning. What is your company's process for consultant/vendor visits? Thank you, Lori.
Okay. Well, it varies, but there is a formal and an informal. So I can't speak to the interiors process because I don't live it firsthand, but I do see vendors in here daily. They do update libraries. They do, bring goodies. They do, educate, and they'll bring a bus, and the interiors group will go into the bus. They'll, feast, and it'll be like a lunch and learn, right? So that happens. We have a formalized lunch and learn program in our office. Gina is, I can, whoever wants contact information for that, please reach out to me. But there is a process. I think we're currently scheduled out through summer, June, July right now. But again, we do, I think, normally vet out some of that where AIA, qualified, certified presentations are the ones that usually make it through as a prerequisite. But of course, after that presentation, they usually then spend a few minutes presenting their, company-specific offerings. So that happens. Informally, I'm constant, I'm not say constantly, but often, people reach out and, hey, we're in town for this convention. I see, we have a new, update to this system or that material or whatever the case is. And say, we'd really like to show it to you if you can spare us 10, 15 minutes. And so, yeah, no problem. Let's schedule something up and we'll squeeze in a 10, 15-minute visit. We'll go into a conference room. Sometimes we'll bring in a few people that benefit from that, into the conference room. So those informal stop-ins are still occurring. And then in informal lunches too, one-on-one or two-on-two or whatever the case may be, we'll grab a quick bite. They'll educate us on, updates and go back to the office. I'm usually quick to share that information. So I'll always ask for extra business cards, and then I'll walk around to the different senior PMs or associates or whoever I know needs maybe this contact or resource. I mean, I did that just yesterday. And I'll pass out the cards, explain the benefits, and go from there. So there's a bit of the formal, informal. Hopefully that covers the gamut.
Yeah.
Let me know, Lori, if it doesn't.
Yeah. No, that was great. Thank you so much. Well, we are over time. Thank you so much, Eddie, for taking the time this morning. We appreciate your thorough answers and all your contributions to our industry. It's definitely much appreciated. Thank you to all the allied members who joined today. AIA appreciates you and all the support you provide to the chapter. If you have any questions about your allied membership, please don't hesitate to reach out to me. That's what I'm here for, to be that conduit for you guys. So please reach out. Any feedback, any questions, you can contact me. Other than that, I hope everyone enjoys the rest of the week. Thank you so much and have a great morning.
Thank you all.
Bye, Eddie.